Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Thursday, February the 22nd. My name is Judge Esparza. We have a couple of writ hearings this afternoon. We do not have a court reporter present. If you are requesting a court reporter, we will reset your matter for another day. If I don't hear, do I have any objections with proceeding without a court reporter?
No
Objections from
Not
Mr.
hearing-
Reyna.
Okay, not hearing any objections, we will proceed. First case we're going to call is C0617-24-E, State of Texas versus Santiago Reyna. Mr. Reyna.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr. Reyna, okay, Mr. Reyna is present in the courtroom. You speak English, sir? Okay, just stand right there, face the TV monitor. Mr. Lindenmuth, good afternoon. This is your motion, sir. You may proceed.
Your Honor, my client presently has two felony arrests pending. I guess they're pending indictment. He has a third-degree possession of a vape pen and a second-degree burglary of habitation. My understanding is his bonds presently are set at $20,000 for each charge. Your Honor, I am appointed as my client is an indigent individual and trying to determine whether he had the financial capability of meeting the requirements of bond. I reached out to his family, namely his mother and his father. And speaking to them, they are both employed, but they do not have the means to be able to meet that $40,000 bond or even the $4,000 for a surety. So, Your Honor, my client doesn't have a job. He doesn't have the funds to be able to afford a bond on his own. He has never been in trouble before that I could find, and reviewing his Hidalgo County records, this is his first series of arrests. Speaking to my client's father, Mr. Reyna, the alleged victim in the burglary of a habitation, Your Honor, appears to be my client's aunt. And my understanding is that they did not want to go forward with pressing charges against my client. They just wanted their property back. My understanding from speaking to both my client and his father is the property has been returned. So that's the status as I understand of the burglary habitation. It's a family type issue. Your Honor, all this time, he's a perfect candidate for a PR bond. And I think there's I guess I'll let the state respond, Your Honor.
Freezing up. You were requesting a PR bond, is that what you said?
Yes, Your Honor. He doesn't have the funds to make a bond that I could on his own, nor through his family, according to them.
Okay, Annalise?
Good afternoon, Judge. This is Abby Miller. I'm standing in for Annalise.
Oh, I'm sorry, Abby.
That's okay.
no
I'm
problem.
standing in for Annalise De Leon Vargas on behalf of the state. Judge, the writ only addresses the drug offense. The writ does not seek a reduction of the bond on the burglary of a habitation.
Actually, I think it's the other way around, isn't it? I only saw the burglary habitation on the writ. I didn't see the drug charge on there.
I just see possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2. That's the only one I see on his application for writ of habeas corpus, is just the possession. In terms of the burglary of a habitation, Judge, he did enter the home in the middle of the night. He was standing at the foot of the bed of a 17-year-old, and then he proceeded to light fireworks off in the house, which set off the fire and smoke alarm, and that's what ended up waking everybody up. The state is not recommending a reduction of bond at this time on either charge, but the writ is only filed as to the drug charge.
What Mr. Lindemann, the application I see, this is just the burglary I have. Did you file an amended one, or were you?
Your Honor, the way this happened, and I'll have to look through my records, my assistant's not in office with me, is that he was initially brought in on the vape pen. this is just a vape pen. This isn't like, cocaine or anything like that. So, but he was brought on a vape pen. I reached out to Mr. Gonzalez at the DA's office to try to get
You're cutting out, Mr. Lindeman.
him out. Damn. I'm sorry, Judge. I might have to try to get on my phone.
Well, if you were making a no motion to add both cases on there, I don't have a problem with it.
I am making a oral motion, Your Honor, and I actually discussed the subject matter with Annalise.
Okay. In the possession of controlled substance, you said the bond is currently set at 20,000. Is that correct, Abby? Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I did read the complaint on the burglary of Hab. As Ms. Miller indicated, it was the middle of the night. I believe the report indicated that at one point he was brandishing a handgun. It was picked up on the house cameras. That's a little disturbing. Whether it's family members or not, going into somebody's house in the middle of the night, allegedly, it's a little concerning. Here's what I'm going to do. Raise your right hand, sir. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Speak louder.
Yes, sir.
State your name for the record, sir.
Okay,
How old are you, sir? Are you in high school?
Yes, sir.
What high school do you go to?
It's not a high school, it's I don't know what you call it, but it's premier.
Okay. So what city do you live in? You can put your hand down. Where were you born? Who do you live with? Who?
The father.
You have a job? What I'll do is, on the burglary of Hab, I'm gonna leave that bond as is. On the possession of controlled substance, on reading the report, I believe that came about on that same night when they pulled him over. At least that's what I read in the report. I'll go ahead and reduce that to a $5,000 PR bond. We'll leave the burglary of Hab as is. No contact with the. Hold on just a
I'm
minute.
sorry, Judge.
If you do make bond, sir, no contact with the alleged victim. I believe I read in the report, it did indicate that they were family members. I don't want you reaching out and calling them. Do you understand that? Don't send them any text messages. Don't call them. Don't tell a friend to call them. Do you understand that? You speak with your attorney, let him take care of the matters for you. You understand that? I'm sorry, Mr. Lindemuth, you wanted to add something?
No, Judge, I was actually going to suggest in lieu of maintaining the bond as it is, because this is a relatively poor family of humble means. So I don't even know if they can make the 2,000 that it would require to get them out for this. I was going to suggest what Your Honor did, which is no contact order. That way it could address the court's concerns with alleged facts and also allow him the opportunity to be charges.
I'm gonna leave the bond as
and
is,
prepare rather.
$20,000. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the bond as is, $20,000 cash surety on the burglary you have. This individual was walking around in the home at 3 a.m. with a handgun, okay? That's very alarming.
I understand, Judge.
I'm gonna leave the bond on the burglary you have, $20,000 cash surety. The bond on the possession of controlled substance charge will be reduced to $5,000 cash surety. If you do make bond, no contact with the alleged victims. Random UAs through probation. Probation will contact you. They're gonna call you in to go get tested. If you don't show up, we're gonna have a hearing to see why you didn't show up. If you show up and you're positive for drugs or alcohol, we're gonna have a hearing to see what's going on and why we shouldn't put you back in jail. Do you understand that, sir?
Sir. Can I make a statement?
No, sir. Speak to your attorney.
Don't talk.
No, sir. He'll make
Don't
contact
talk.
with you. He'll come back at a later date and visit with you. Anything else, Abby, from the state?
Nothing from the state. Thank you, Judge.
All right, that'll be the
That's all
judge's
I have,
report.
Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Lindemann. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge, for your time. I appreciate it.
You bet. Have a good afternoon. Mr. Contreras, are you there
Likewise.
by any chance?
Yes, sir. I'm right here, sir.
Jorge Alvarado is your client, is that correct, Mr. Contreras?
Jorge Alvarado, yes, he's out on bond, Judge. I filed a motion to modify his conditions. I'm asking.
Hang on just a minute. Hold
No
on just a
problem.
minute, Jesse. Let me let him in on Zoom. He's present. Let me just let him in.
No, he worked for me. He's like, how do we?
If you could turn on your camera, Mr. Contreras, please.
No problem, Judge.
Call, C
Argument.
1300-23-I. You're not driving, are you, Mr. Contreras?
Yeah, but somebody's driving me right now.
Okay, all right.
Let me
we're gonna call
let him,
C.
I'm gonna tell him to stop real quick, Judge. So it doesn't
Yeah, please.
cause any nausea.
1300-23-I, State of Texas versus Jorge Alvarado. Mr. Alvarado, he's in your office. That's correct. Let me see where he's at. There he is. Okay. And I read your motion. Abby, I don't know if Annalise had a chance to fill you in. This is a motion to modify AIP requirement. He was placed on AIP in April of last year, I believe on a DWI 3rd. Is that correct,
No.
Mr. Contreras?
No, it's an indecency with a child, Your Honor.
Okay, I apologize. That's correct. I did reach out to Alexandra Garza and notified her. I don't know if she had a chance to speak to anybody to see if there were any violations.
There's no violations, Judge. Plus, this individual has no criminal history whatsoever. He's 50 years of age, 51. And again, there's no violations from the IUP conditions, Your Honor.
Judge, I don't have
Abby, were you-
information as to whether or not there are any violations, so I'm
We
just.
can reset it,
defer-
Judge. I'm sorry about that, Abby. Sorry about that.
That's
Abby.
okay. That's okay.
This what I'll do, Mr. Contreras. If you're okay with it, I'll wait to hear back from Abby once she gets in contact with AIP officer. And if there are no violations, I don't have a problem removing it. It's been on there since April of last year. I don't know if there was a no contact order issued on this case, but if there was, I'll continue that order, no contact with the alleged victim. And he hasn't picked up any new charges, I'm assuming, because he's still out on bond, correct?
Zero, Judge. Zero. He's never been in trouble before. Yes.
All right. Contact our office, or we'll have our office contact you on Friday. And hopefully we'll hear back from AIP officer by that time, and we can submit the order.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused, Your Honor?
All right. Yes, sir. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you,
Good to go,
Judge.
Mr. Alvarado. Next case we're gonna call is C 0774-24-F, State of Texas versus Raymond Rodriguez. Good. You speak English, Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rodriguez is present in the courtroom. This is public defenders, Mr. Sahadi. I saw him on the screen. There you are.
Yes, good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon, sir. This is your motion. You may proceed. Your client's present, and he is English speaking.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Rodriguez is being held on an evading arrest, Judge. I would respectfully point out that this is an evading arrest on foot. It would normally be filed as a misdemeanor, but it was because he had a previous conviction. It's been felonized. Now, when speaking with Mr. Rodriguez, he's informed me that his last arrest for evading was apparently about 14 years ago. So I'm not sure why this was felonized. Nonetheless, there was a companion charge, which was a failure to ID. I was able to, I had an understanding with the state. They agreed to a PR bond on that matter. My thinking, Judge, is that this is an evading arrest on foot. Normally, it would be a misdemeanor, and the state would have agreed to a PR on that as well. But nonetheless, this gentleman is a U.S. citizen. He's not a flight risk. He's gainfully employed in roofing, and he does live at home with his mother, Judge. So we would respectfully request a PR bond on this matter. I don't know why it was felonized. I know that there's a previous conviction, but it's stated before. This was several years past.
The previous conviction is actually out of Cameron County, it looks like from 2016. Regardless, Ms. Miller?
Yes, yes, Your Honor, thank you. The state at this time is not recommending a reduction. The last evading was several years ago. However, this defendant does have significant criminal history, has been up to TDCJ before. Has a 2022 assault bodily injury, several burglaries of vehicles, multiple evading arrests. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 evading arrests, several thefts of property possession, and multiple DWIs, Judge. And so I presume that that's why this was upgraded to a felony, because it doesn't look like there's one previous conviction. It looks like there's about 4, but also there's significant history. So the state is not recommending a reduction at this time.
But I believe that his immediate history, Judge, this is the only offenses he picked up in the last several years. I think he's back on the right track. As stated, he's gainfully employed and lives at home with mom.
Raise your right hand, sir. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. State your name for the record, sir.
Raymond Lopez Rodriguez,
You put your hand down. Where were you born, sir?
San Benito,
And you currently live in what city?
in Harlingen right now.
Are you on probation or parole at this time?
Nope.
I'm gonna go ahead and reduce his bond. It's currently set at $10,000 cash surety. I'm gonna go ahead and reduce it to $1,000. How long has he been in jail?
He's been in there 12 days, Judge.
Okay, $1,000 PR bond. Make sure you have contact information for him, Mr. Saadi.
I do, Judge, and I do have contact information with family members as well.
Okay. You will be released, sir. Make sure that you stay in contact with your attorney. I do not want you going back, listen to me, to the location of the Home Depot, I believe it was in Wessico. I don't want you going back there. You understand that? All right. Your bond will be reduced to $1,000 PR. That's just to get you out. You're still gonna have to show up to court at a later date with your attorney to take care of this matter. You understand that? We'll also order random UAs through probation. They'll contact you, just like I told the other individual, to go in and get tested. If you don't show up, we're gonna have a hearing, see why we shouldn't put you back in jail. You understand that? Drugs or alcohol. You understand that? If you show up and you're dirty, we're gonna have a hearing to see why we shouldn't put you back in jail. You understand? All right. Good luck to you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Saadi.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Alvarado, you can turn off the camera, sir. You can turn off your camera. You can exit. Next case we're gonna call is David Cantu. Are you there, David?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, we're gonna call C 077024-24-E, State of Texas versus Francisco Aleman. Mr. Aleman, you present? Speak English, sir?
Yes, sir.
Stand up in the front there like everybody else did, sir. Mr. Aleman is present. He is English speaking. I believe we were here on this case. Was it this week, David, or last week?
It was last week, Your Honor. And in between,
You're not driving,
between
right,
the-
David?
I just parked, Your Judge.
Okay, good. All right.
Yes, so
Go ahead.
between the last hearing and now, actually it was last Friday, I believe. I entered an agreement with Attorney Pugh from Court 5, the prosecutor, for PR bonds on his pending misdemeanors. So the only thing that's holding him in jail now is this unindicted felony, Your Honor. And I believe all the
David,
offenses are, yes.
David, real quickly, all the misdemeanor cases are still showing cash surety bonds. They don't show PR bonds.
Yes, Your Honor. The agreed orders for bond reductions have already been filed. The agreed orders are signed by myself and the prosecutor. We're just pending the judge's signature. I believe they were uploaded to his queue just this morning. the orders
Okay,
for
'cause
signature.
I checked yesterday and they all still had cash surety bonds on them. You've been in jail, what, 53 days now? Abby, response?
Yes, Your Honor, this offense was previously reduced down to a $5,000 cash surety. It was originally set at 30,000 cash surety bond. State is not recommending a further reduction at this time. He does have significant criminal history, mostly misdemeanor, however, and in this particular case, he did flee from the officer while they were trying to detain him and then spat in the officer's face, Judge. So the state believes that the 5,000 cash surety is a fair bond at this time.
David, you have contact information for your client?
I do, Your Honor. And
I remember this case. We were here last week on it, I think.
yes, and I do have an address if in case the phone numbers does not work. I have addresses and people that know him that live around him in Alamo. So we can try to make contact through that means once released. Your Honor, he is disabled. He does have issues that he suffers from. And I believe that's what arose or how the incident arose.
I'm gonna go ahead and reduce the bond from $5,000 cash surety to $5,000 PR. Sir, if you get out on bond, once those other cases, if they are reduced, you need to stay in contact with your attorney. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
This is just to get you out of jail. It doesn't resolve you the case. You will have to show up at the courthouse at a later date to take care of these matters. You understand that? All right. You don't need to testify to it here. You'll have your chance in court. Bond will be reduced to $5,000 PR on this matter, on the of harassment charge. The other misdemeanor cases that you indicated, the complaints have been filed. You'll need to resolve that with County Court number 5, Mr. Cantu.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Is that all you have?
That's all I have, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Morales, you're standing in for Mr. Moreno?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we're going to call, and just for the record, we do not have a court reporter. Do you have any objection to us proceeding without a court reporter?
No, Your Honor.
It's going to call C0761-24-E, State of Texas versus Hector Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez is present in the courtroom. You speak English, Mr. Hernandez?
Sure.
Okay, he is English speaking. This is your motion, Mr. Morales. You may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor, we're here before the court today on 2 charges. One is a possession of controlled substance, and the other is failure to identify, giving false information. At this time, the bonds on the drug offense are at $20,000, and the failure to ID is $5,000. Mr. Moreno was court appointed to this individual, Your Honor. Where the family has been able to gather some money together, Your Honor, to try to post bond. However, they cannot meet the $25,000. We're trying to see if the court will consider either lowering the possession charge to maybe a $5,000 cash or surety, and maybe to do something that I'm not sure the court will consider a PR bond or a $2,500 cash surety bond on the failure to ID.
Your Honor, Abby Miller here on behalf of the state. The state is in agreement with a PR bond on the failure to ID at an amount that Your Honor sees appropriate. And as for the possession charge, the state is recommending a reduction from 20,000 cash surety to 10,000 cash surety. He does have history, Judge. Most of it is for possession. And that's the recommendation that was given to me at this time, Judge.
And just for the record, the failure to ID charge, the complaint has been filed. So I don't have any, I no longer have jurisdiction. It looks like it landed in County Court of Law number 4, Jaime. So you'll need to contact the prosecutor there.
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and raise your right hand, sir. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. How old are you, sir?
21.
Where were you born?
What's the potential, sir?
Who do you live with?
My mother, father.
Okay, I'm gonna reduce the bond on the possession of controlled substance from $20,000 to $5,000 cash surety. In order random UAs through probation. Same thing I told them, probation will contact you, you make sure you show up. If you don't show up, we're gonna have a hearing, see why I shouldn't put you in jail. No drugs, no alcohol, you understand that? And if you don't have a ride, you answer the phone and you tell them you don't have a ride, but you show up, or you walk or you get a bike, you understand?
Yes, sir, you got it.
Bond will be reduced to, from $20,000 cash surety to $5,000 cash surety on the possession of controlled substance charge, random UAs through probation. And you can resolve the other matter through County Court Law number 4, Mr. Morales.
Thank you.
Anything else? Yes, sir. Thank you. Mr. Alanis,
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
good afternoon. State's gonna call C 0792-24-L, State of Texas versus Wilman Garcia. Mr. Garcia, you speak English, sir? Okay. Mr. Garcia is present in the courtroom. He is English speaking. Mr. Alanis, this is your motion, sir. You may proceed.
Your Honor, Mr. Garcia was arrested approximately a little over 10 days ago. He's charged with 2 charges. One's a misdemeanor, one's a felony. The first one is for assault. That's the misdemeanor. The felony is for retaliation. The misdemeanor carries a $4,000 bond. The felony carries a $10,000 bond. We're asking for Your Honor to consider reducing his bonds to $500 for the assault and to $2,500 for the felony. The felony is a charge that took place in the police vehicle after he was arrested. And he said some things to the police officer that may have been taken as threats. The assault comes from him being involved in trying to help his mom at a business that they were selling flowers on Valentine's Day on, Your Honor. And he believed that the person that was working alongside there was either taking too many breaks or taking too much time to do whatever was requested by his mother. And then they had an altercation, and then there was other people involved. Judge, he has some pending cases in the 92nd. He's been working on those. He's on the probation there, Your Honor. And he has an additional charge that's also similar to this one that's pending in Court 5 at this point in time. So that's his criminal history, Your Honor. He lives with his mom. He's employed by her. You know, he helps out in odd jobs. He's cutting the grass. He used to be an oil rig worker, but not at this time, Judge. We're asking for the court to consider reducing the bond.
Mr. Alanis, do you represent him on the MTA out of the 92nd?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Miller, do you have a response?
Yes, Your Honor. Abby Miller here on behalf of the state. This defendant was out on bond already for an obstruction from indicted in 2023, Judge, when he picked up these new offenses. He's also pending a DWI third and an evading arrest from 2021. And so because he continues to pick up new offenses, the state is not recommending a reduction at this time.
Yeah, I saw an order of release from February 9th, where the 92nd, apparently there's an MTA, correct?
Yes, sir.
And they reinstated his bond. The allegations were these new charges. Raise your right hand, sir. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
State your name for the record.
Garcia Willman,
How old are you, sir?
29, Your Honor.
Where were you born?
West Local, Texas.
What city do you currently live in?
I live in Southern, Your Honor.
Who do you live with?
I live with my mother.
So you realize you're out on bond, you understand that, correct? Or you were out on bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're also on probation, my understanding, out of the 92nd District Court. or third degree felony. You understand that, right?
Correct, Your Honor.
So go ahead and reduce the bond on the retaliation charge from $14,000 cash surety. Or, I'm sorry, it's $10,000 cash surety, to $5,000 cash surety. On the assault charge, from $4,000 cash surety to $1,000 cash surety. No contact with the alleged victim. Random UAs through probation. You heard what I told the other individuals. Probation's gonna contact you. You better show up when they tell you to show up to get tested. You understand? No drugs, no alcohol. Not a beer, no wine, nothing. Do you understand that? Any other conditions, Abby? Or any other requests?
No, Judge,
That's for the defense. Thank you.
nothing from the state, Judge.
Bond will be reduced on the felony from $10,000 to $5,000 cash surety. On the assault, it'll be reduced from $4,000 to $1,000 cash surety. Random UAs through probation, no contact with the alleged victim. You may have a seat, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Your Honor, thank you so very much. May I be excused?
Sir, have a good afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Honor. Thank you, Ms. Abby.
Judge, I believe that's everything that the state has this afternoon, so may we also be excused?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Miller.
Thank you.
Have a good afternoon.
You too, bye-bye.
All right, good luck, guys. Make sure you follow the